Welcome everybody to the Daily High on this happy Monday morning. Look, I'm in the house. I've done it. After 3 months of traveling, I mean, there's boxes and whatnot everywhere, but after 3 months of living in in-laws' houses and all sorts of stuff, I'm here. I'm in the new house. It's fantastic. But Tone, looks like you're in a good spot too.
Awesome. Yeah, and I am at the lake house. This is Doug Scribner's lake house in Minnesota. He's walking around a rope somewhere over there. That's the guy with the cute dog out of Miami. He's been asking me to come visit the lake house for a long time. It's freaking great. I gotta buy a plot of land here as well as prosper. Man, I can't wait for Bitcoin to be, $1 million, and then there's gonna be uh retirement time.
Yeah, I was actually thinking about that today. If Bitcoin goes to $1 million or it goes to 200,000, 100,000 US dollars, do I have to move again into a bigger house? Because this house is pretty small, but I'm pretty happy here. I don't think I'd move. I don't think I'd do it anyway.
No, no, no. You buy the two plots to your left and right and start building like one giant mansion over your house.
That's not a bad idea. All right. Speaking of good ideas, Bitcoin's done all right. Did all right today. Looks better. Tone, do you want to go first? Do you want me to go first? What's up?
You know what? I'll go first. I did do
All
a
right.
video last night on my channel. It was mostly talking about the election. Not the election, the debate for the election. What a clown show that was. Of course, that devolved into a greater political talk. So the biggest thing I want to focus on is this beautiful uh, doji uh, candle, the hammer candle. This is a not the shooting star doji. There's the gray star, the dragonfly doji. There it is. The dragonfly doji style candle. So what I was hoping for was for this candle to actually go green. The only reason why I wanted this candle to go green is because if it did, the red star would disappear. And the reason why I wanted the red star to disappear is that when we look at this area in, let's say, 3 or 4 months from now, it will not indicate that the MRI called for a short trade on the weekly scale. That's really the only reason why I wanted to see a green candle. Now, if we remove the MRI from the equation, this is a beautiful reversal candle. It reminds me a lot of the candle that we had on April 29th. And while Bitcoin did close lower than that candle the following week, the swing low was certainly in, and we started to rally. And right here, right on the edge of breaking your modified Lucid SAR, we were very giddy and very bullish that, hey, all we have to do is close right here at a new closing swing high. We break that SAR, we close at a new swing high, and we're off to, 100K, here we come. And we got rejected right there. This gives us similar hope. Now, I say similar hope because there's one thing that's working in our favor and multiple things working against us. Time is working in our favor. Halving has happened. The bullish market is on the verge of starting once again. This is where I go back to the trend cycle. We should be starting the bull cycle somewhere between right now and September. That's only a 2 to 3 month window. That's my analogy the last week where I said, hey, it's a boxer that knows he's going to win the fight if he can just stay from getting knocked down for these final 3 rounds, these final 3 months. So time is working in our favor with the halving, with the ETFs, purchasing more Bitcoin. That's working in our favor. What is working against us? What's working against us is TA. The technical analysis and the chart patterns have deteriorated. Even though this is a reversal candle, and if you look, it has a beautiful tone vase, green bullish volume spike. And I know this is not a publicly available indicator, but it will be in the near future, hopefully by end of year, if not 100% next year. Um,
You've been saying that for 7 years, Tone.
I know, I know, I know. But there's a reason why it'll be next year. Mm. There's a reason why I will have time to do it next year. Uh, and but the TA picture has actually deteriorated. The MACD looks a lot weaker than it did the last time we had a similar uh, bullish candle. The RSI has deteriorated a lot since the last time we had that candle. The CMF is actually the only one that has given us some hope. The CMF is actually stronger. That's the only one that has strengthened, which is somewhat surprising. But all these other metrics have deteriorated. We haven't closed at a new swing low, but we certainly swung to lower than the close, which puts us in a bit of no man's land. It's like the close is a little bit higher, the swing is a little bit higher, but we're now under the moving averages. Anyway, it's a long-winded way of saying that while time is working in our favor, the overall TA picture is not. And if this asset wasn't Bitcoin, if this was some kind of a stock, if this was some kind of a currency, if this was some kind of a commodity that you can produce, without a constraint, kind of like, you know, cocoa or something like that, I would be very, very bearish. But because it's Bitcoin, we always have that sliver of hope. Let's go to the allocation chart. Now, the allocation chart remains at 20%. There's no reason to alter it. In fact, I am waiting to see how Bitcoin handles the $65,000 to $66,000 range, because it could actually mean that I lower this 20% bullish allocation into a 0% allocation if we get rejected by the now declining long-term moving average, which is very, very dangerous. Guys, the last time this 30-period moving average on the 4-day chart started to decline, right here we had a monster crash in August of last year. That's the last time this moving average declined. This is not something to sneeze at. And it started to decline while the price was above it, which is generally stronger than the current position we are in, where this long-term moving average is about to decline with the price coming up from below. That is very, very dangerous. Again, the one thing working in our favor is time. The halving has just passed. The ETFs are still buying Bitcoin. There was actually net purchases of Bitcoin last month, this month, actually in the month of June that just passed. Last week was a decent week for the ETF purchases. And more companies are starting to take Bitcoin seriously. So time is working in our favor. TA is not. The daily chart. The daily chart is rallying, but look, we got rejected this morning by its short-term moving average, with the mother of all resistances still, 3 to 4% higher at 66,000. If we are not able to break this short-term 20-period moving average, I mean, this tells me that Bitcoin is weaker than even I am trying to give it credit for. We must break this short-term moving average. Obviously, I mean, this is like Sherlock speaking here. We must break this moving average to have a shot at real resistance. If we can't break this weak paper thin wall of resistance, how the hell are we going to break the brick wall of resistance? We need to reverse this candle, and pretty damn soon. This would be a green star candle had it been sitting here above yesterday's swing high. I like the fact that we just had a weekly new close on the high side. Today is Monday. The stock market has its own issues. We're going to talk about that after. We're super close to this red wave of mats and the 200-day moving average. This is not, yesterday was a pretty good candle, but yesterday was Sunday. Today is the money day. Today we need to show strength, and so far we're not. And here is the 1-hour chart. The 1-hour chart looks very weak. It's got
S&P.
some.
That's S&P.
Hmm?
That's S&P.
Oh, why is that the S&P? Shit, hold on. BTCUSD index. Here's the Bitcoin 1 hour chart. Let me save that. No idea why that was the S&P. The 1 hour is on an MRI buy, but it's an MRI buy in consolidation under a moving average. Not very strong right here on the hourly. Here's the 4 hour. Let's see if there was any MRI tops right here. There could have been. Oh, right now, the warning candle was the big down candle. So the 4 hours got a shot. We got support in the 61.8 area, which is a good area because if we go into this area of 61.8, I can definitely see people getting very, very nervous and exiting just as it hits very good support of the prior swing highs and moving average support. So we still got a shot. We still got a shot to reverse here, but it does need to be within the next 24 hours. All right, I'm going to let it go here. Matt, floor is yours. Let's see what's going on.
Yeah, that is brilliant, Tone. Absolutely fantastic. All right, before I go into it, most shows I've got, I'm so tired. Most shows I've got nothing to say, and I'm like, all right, what am I going to say today? That's not today. We've got a show today. Before I go into it, please like and subscribe. Please share it with your friends, and please join the Discord group immediately. And I'll show you why today. Bangbox is in the final stages of beta testing right now, and we had a cracking trade this morning. So fully automated. It's probably one of the most satisfying trades I've ever made. Fully automated, didn't even have one keystroke. To do that, you just have to use the affiliate links in the description below and join. I have to set this room up. It's going to look a lot better than this. Trust me. I'm still running off the camera mic and whatever, the computer mic, camera. Here we go. Let's get this going. I'm going to start is really, 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 really zoomed out here. These are 6-month candles. This was the best 6-month candle close we've ever had, all-time high. Doesn't have to mean much. We have a green star candle on the MRI, but I mean, when you look at it in perspective, it's like, wow, fantastic 6-month close. Couldn't be more happier. I mean, we're a very, very long way from there's nothing to chart here. It's just a nice thing to start the week off with. Why not? Monthly, because we started the new month. I've never started on that high time frame before. Still above the
Hey,
seven.
Matt, Matt,
Yeah,
Matt, Matt, Matt. Since you did 6 months, can you do quarterly? Can you do 3 month?
3 months. Yeah, it's the same jazz. It was a bad month, and we'll have a look. 1 second. Not bad. Not bad. Second highest close of all time. Even on a red candle.
Nice.
Not terrible. I mean, a decent. Nothing to report here. It's just fine. Absolutely fine. Now, let's get into something more positive. Monthly time frame. Closed above the 7 simple moving average. That was the MRI top, but it's monthly, so we'll see. We'll see how relevant that is. I'm all the moving averages are in the right order. They're all fine. This is the first red candle. 1, 2, 3, 4. Unless we get above 71,200 this month, this will start a new MRI count to the downside. But then the month after that, it's likely to be a red one and a green one after each other. I mean, who knows what will happen this month? But it could potentially be a red one and then start a whole new sequence of MRI count all over again. We don't know. Way too soon to judge that. But I'm still satisfied that we're above that all of my moving averages and they're all in the correct order. I'm totally fine. Just having a quick look at peek at the oscillators here. All oscillators are fine on the monthly time frame. All right. Now we're getting more relevant as we go down. Stick with this. All right. So yeah, as Tone said, the doji, the dragonfly candle, all that's fine. I was saying for what felt like weeks, as long as we stay above, put in a higher low here, I'm totally fine with this Seljan toppy type of thing. Absolutely fine with it. Absolutely fine. I agree completely that we've got a lot of work to do to get above 66,000 and whatnot. But as it stands right now, I am completely fine with this. Man, I was copping a lot of heat for being like, I saw a really funny comment saying, oh, what kind of bullish dip are we going to get this week? And a bullish dip. I thought that was hilarious. They were making fun of the fact that I'm a perma bull, but I mean, on the daily time frame as we come into it right now, alphanumerics did its job here. It bloody oath it did its job to catch
So
this.
so did the MRI. So did the MRI.
I was going to say this. I was going to say this. I've got I've got like three tools. The MRI is one of them. Alphanumerics is another, and Bangbox, which we'll go into when we get down the time frames. I've got three tools that I use religiously. We got a double MRI bottom, which I was very excited about. We got a green diamond on the daily time frame on alphanumerics, which kept us putting in a higher low, which is just normal common sense stuff. The MRI is starting to kick off again with a green star candle here. We must have just appreciated in price slightly from when you were looking at it, or unless you were looking at a different charts, because that green star, I don't think it was on there when you were looking at it, but it's there again now. And then Bangbox on the lower time frames, which I'll show, very, very positive. The lucid stars are starting to come down now. The modified lucid stars, they'll drop very quickly in over the next few weeks. So, by the time we get to this crunch point at 68, 66, 60,000, as Tone said, time, those lucid stars might be right there. We might be flipping this wave green all by punching through this whole gap at the same time. Even if we get rejected the first time, I could definitely see that happening. Coming back down and retesting some of these, maybe even going lower, who knows? But by the time we finally break this wave green again, that'll be a very serious event that we'll talk about ad nauseum. When this wave finally turns green again, post-halving, going into the later half of this year, or maybe even just passing the midpoint, I would be extraordinarily bullish. Extraordinarily bullish. I'm bullish on Bitcoin as it stands right now. 4-hour time frame. We're still riding up. This was really cool because we for all last week we couldn't get above the 50, the 30. We just kept crushing it down, crushing it down, crushing it lower. Put in a higher low at this point here, and then we had the bullish cross right here. Fantastic. But we are on MRI top now. This is a great trade through this period right here. Watching this thing round off, really, really, really textbook alphanumeric stuff on the 4-hour time frame. We'll see what happens. I mean, it could easily reject, and Tone made a great point that this coming back down to the, say, the 50 and 30 here, but it also being exactly the same point as the breakout point, that seems like a real common sense move for this next leg down with further upside to go. Now, for what I'm really, really excited to tell you about, I'm going to turn off the MRI and alphanumerics and put on Bangbox. We had, I think, 15 to 25 people, I can't remember exactly how many it is, in our beta testing right now. And we absolutely crushed this trade. So this was fully automated. It was the most satisfying trade I've ever made because, I designed this system and now it's getting to the point where we're about to release it. This trade entered right here at 60, we'll call it 62,000 while I was asleep. And while I was moving my house today, I didn't have to look at the screen, didn't have to do anything. Fully automated, took 20% out on that trade. Yes, that's only a 2% move, but Bangbox utilizes 10x leverage, and we cracked 20% on the day. Then the price has faded since then. This is what I'm so excited to bring you guys. And we had 100% accuracy on all of the trades. They all entered. There was no slippage. All the batches went through. So we're very, very confident that we've got everything ironed out here, and we're so close to bringing this to you. Tone, what do you reckon about that, mate? I sent it to you in real time when it clicked through. Not bad, eh?
No, it looks great. Looking forward to seeing how it behaves the moment it goes live for everyone. But I'm glad the 15 people in the beta test made money. That's all I ever hoped for when I started this channel, my channel 10 years ago, is I want to see people be successful. I hate watching people scam other people, but I'm always happy when other people are successful.
Yeah, I'm going to come back to you now, mate. I mean, that's my whole thing too. If we can grind results out of this thing fully automated and we're beating the benchmark of just buying and holding, which I'm absolutely convinced that we will, and people are making money and it costs nothing to use, I'm absolutely wrapped with it. All right, Tone, take us through the S&P. I'm ready.
All right, any announcements?
I think I've made some announcements already. This is
Just
not the
checking.
midway point of the show.
All right. So real quick, oil prices are ticking up. It is the summer season. I'm still very surprised that the U.S. government continues to purchase oil into the Strategic Petroleum Reserve. I would have thought that they would start to sell oil around the summer in order to help the election process, but so far that has not yet started. Gold is stuck under this crazy resistance now that the week and the month has ended. It's always cool when the weekly candle ends as the monthly candle. It creates very, very clean charts. We can kind of adjust this. No, I'll leave it like that on a weekly scale, and the monthly scale on gold. Ooh, so the monthly scale on gold is working off its MRI top candle, and look at the yearly. I did not even realize that. Next year is the annual top on gold. So that makes it perfect. I would love to see a blow off top candle next year. So my target for gold hitting 3,000 is actually next year. Next year's candle should do it. That would be an MRI top candle, 3,000, maybe even higher, and then a massive pullback down to the $2,000 area. And that's interesting, right? Because next year is also going to be the year that Bitcoin should reach its top as well. So it's very, very interesting that gold is going to be on a monthly MRI top. The annual MRI top, and the monthly MRI top is right now. So this creates an interesting dynamic. If gold starts to recover next month, it can enter a new monthly MRI trend where the annual MRI top, like the yearly MRI top, will be in line with a monthly MRI top in gold. And hopefully the weekly and the daily will give us the perfect timing on gold, something I screwed up in NVIDIA, but that's okay. But the same concept is coming in. Um, all right, S&P. S&P is on its weekly MRI top. So this could be a little bit of trouble for Bitcoin over the next few weeks. I can certainly see the S&P pulling back. As I stated last week, this is the time to take your S&P profits. I know Tesla is rallying this morning, and prior we can glance at the Tesla chart. That seems to be breaking out of some very good metrics. But be careful here. This is not the time to go bullish on the stock market. Not this week, maybe not next week. You wait for the green star candle that follows the MRI tops. Looks like I don't have the stars turned on here. We can add them. Let me see here. Boom. Uh, First candle and prior candle. And there they are. You wait for that green star candle. This is what I want to see. This is the kind of MRI top we're getting right now. I think the current MRI top is very similar to this one back in December of last year. It kind of started to taper off after a big rise. This is what's happening here. We had a crazy dip, bounced off support. In this case, it was a moving average. In this case, it was the MRI support line. We rallied strong, and then we tapered off. We rallied strong, and now we tapered off. I can see 1 or 2 week correction. You get that green star candle, and then you should be off to the races. This is what I'm looking for. So you wait for that green star candle. This one was trickier. This one was coming off a second consecutive MRI top. So it's a lot harder to keep going higher after the second one than after the first one. Okay. Watch out for false traps, like what happened right here. But this never pulled back. It just kept going higher. So again, I think we're gonna pull back a smidge and then go higher. Here is the daily version. Nope, that's the 10-minute version. Let's go to the daily version. Well, 10 a.m. reversal is here. That's for damn sure. Well, 11 a.m. at this point. Oh, I still need to change. Oh, no, I don't need to change my indicator. Here is the daily. I'm going to get rid of that, whatever this is. And here's the daily. Oh, wow. So the daily futures, we've been consolidating for several days now. This consolidation could go either way, but I think it's bearish because of the weekly MRI top. All right, I'm going to go ahead and leave it here. Let's look at Tesla. Tesla is at resistance right now. What are the odds that Tesla is going to break out right now after already rallying so much, I'm going to say the odds are fairly low. I've been hanging out with Doug the last couple of days, and Doug spends half his day listening to Tesla analysis. So now I'm up to date on my Tesla analysis. Uh, uh, and I do think Tesla is due for a pullback, but I also think that the low is in. So pullback and then breakout. I think that is the more likely outcome. We're still in a downward channel. It's not easy to break the downward channel straight to the upside. I think there needs to be a secondary low, a higher low, which Tesla has not made yet. So I would not rush into the Tesla trade. This
So
is the
can you,
weekly
can
scale.
you turn
Yeah.
Alpha on for a second?
What's up?
Can you just flick alphanumerics on for a second on that
Oh, yeah.
weekly? I just want to check it. Back to the weekly. Okay.
Oh,
I don't
coming
know.
off your purple candle.
And it broke to a green wave too.
And earnings is coming. So earnings is actually in the middle of July. So earnings is coming. I would be careful. Yes, alphanumerics is bullish here. MRI is bullish here. I would be cautious just based on one simple thing. Uh, it's hard to break out off the lows. You can see it right here back in February of last year. You can see how we rallied off of an MRI warning candle plus the green diamond. We rallied, we pulled back, and then we broke out, and we still had trouble breaking these highs. Uh, I just think that it needs a secondary pullback. Tesla has not had that yet, and so I think pullback, then breakout, but it's possible uh, for the MRI to reach a top first. So overall, I think the Tesla lows are in. I don't think last year's lows will be broken on the swing. And honestly, I think the low for the year is in. The question is, do you chase it at this point, or do you try to buy it between 150 and 175, let's say, instead of 210? I think you'll get a chance to buy it closer to 170 than 210.
I agree, mate. Those purple, I call them the phantom signals. Those purple candles there, they tend to happen, and then you do there. That's very, very macro bullish, right? So you might get a pullback off. It doesn't matter, whatever. But like macro, that is taken time to build up steam to get that crossed. And so I'm bullish on it.
And as far as Nvidia goes, again, everything goes back to don't fight the S&P overall trend. The S&P is on an MRI top. I'm expecting everything to kind of drip down. So I am expecting Nvidia to go lower. I know this is a bit of a bullish candle right now, but Nvidia just had its weekly MRI top. It started its monthly MRI top. I see Nvidia going under 100. Maybe it can hold off 100. Am I going to short Nvidia? I am not. I missed my trade. I'm not going to chase. But I do think that Nvidia is likely to at least approach the $100 mark. You have MRI support at 106. You have the Lucid SARS coming in. We may hold the SARS. We will see. This gap right here is in danger of closing. So for me, the most likely, this is probably the weekly scale line. And I'm not really sure what these lines are. Let me get rid of this. But I can certainly see NVIDIA going to this area here, which is 94. Okay, I'm gonna get rid of that line as well. Go back to the daily chart. I can see it closing this gap right here. You got a ton of support right there. I can move the line up. This gap is in jeopardy. It's one of those gaps that tends to close. If this gap is closed and it finds support, this becomes my next opportunity to profit from NVIDIA by going long NVIDIA off of the $95 zone. Let's see if that gets pre-run and I never get my chance, but it's okay.
So
All right.
can you just click on MSTR? Just 1 second, MSTR. It's two below NVIDIA.
Oh, MSTR looks good. It's working on a massive triangle.
It looks like Bitcoin. Yeah, fair enough.
It's working on this massive triangle, and you know there's only one way this ends, like that.
Yeah. Awesome.
All right,
Grand.
cool. All right, guys. Thank you all for watching. I'm gonna get off screen share. I'm gonna give you guys a nice big view in the
Yeah.
background, and beautiful lake up in Minnesota. I'll be here a few more days, and then it's back off to the northeast for 4th of July weekend, and then back to Latin America after that. Matt, enjoy the new home.
Thanks, mate. Look, I got to set up this bloody studio, but I'm so happy to be in the house. I'm so happy to be with you again today, and it's going to be fantastic. I'll set this up real nice, and I think Bitcoin's looking all right. So let's go. Go. See you tomorrow.
Bye, guys.